Welcome to the Productivity Masterclass. I hope that it actually benefits you and changes your life. I just want to say that this is entirely from my free community, and I thought that everyone on YouTube should get access to this course because I'm also going to release a bunch of more courses on my community. And basically, in the community, I help young guys just get better grades and become better students, and also just smash their self-improvement goals. And so if that sounds like you might want to check it out. It's the first link in the description. Apart from that, enjoy the course. And so an overview for week 1 is, first of all, an introduction to productivity. So exactly what productivity is and what is your productivity right now. Another video is identifying mindset barriers and limiting beliefs. And that'll be going over exactly a lot of mental barriers that are stopping you from getting towards your goals and exactly how we can tackle that. Then we're going to be understanding what procrastination is, why do you keep doing it, and again, how do we break that pattern as well. And then we're going to be exactly looking over how to actually set proper goals and how to turn goals into systems so that you are more likely to achieve them. And then we're going to be creating your own productivity plan. And that's exactly going to outline how to make a weekly schedule and then a daily schedule so that you can optimize your lifestyle and your routine to make you more productive. Exactly what is productivity? And so in today's video, the overview is going to be, first of all, defining productivity, and then identifying the importance of productivity and assessing your productivity. But yeah, let's just get into it. So defining productivity. So productivity is just efficiency. And so the formula for productivity is the amount of output you produce for the amount of input you spend. So the amount of work tasks you do for the time you spend doing those work tasks. So productivity equals output over input. And some misconceptions about productivity is that, first of all, like we said, productivity is efficiency. So, and just because you are busy does not necessarily mean you are being productive. That's a misconception. Some people just like to say that they're busy, like to make themselves feel busy, but it doesn't mean that they're actually being productive, right? And so the output is determined by the type of task. The quality is also determined by the number of tasks done at the same time, right? So let me explain. So the output is determined by the type of task. So, like, let's say you're studying for an exam, right? Would it be more productive or helpful for you to just highlight the textbook, read over the notes, just highlight some pages, right? And just take some like super notes or rewriting your notes so they look more pretty, right? Or would it be better to spend it just going straight into the practice exams so you're prepared for the same type of questions that are going to be on your test, right? So 2 hours of highlighting textbook pages and 2 hours of doing practice exams is not the same productivity, it's not the same efficiency, because the output is very different based on the quality and the type of task. And the quality is also determined by the number of tasks done at the same time. And so a lot of you like to do multitasking. And that's the agenda. People just say, oh, you should learn how to multitask, do a bunch of things at once. But that will reduce the quality of your work. Imagine you're studying for an exam, but at the same time you're trying to listen to a lecture on YouTube, and then at the same time you're washing the dishes or something, right? Like, you're going to do all three at the same time, sure, but none of them will be good. And so in a world where our strength isn't really used anymore because we're in the digital age, the quality of our work is what determines like how valuable we are to the market, right? So how good you are on your exams or in school, or how good you are at the work you produce at your job or at your business, like the quality of videos I'm going to make for the school community, that's what actually matters, right? And so if you're multitasking and doing so many things at once, none of the things that you're doing will be high quality. And so to increase productivity, you need to either increase the amount of output for the same input you spend. So let's say your output was 1 practice exam per hour. If you change that to 2 practice tests per hour, then theoretically you've increased your productivity. Or you can decrease the amount of input you spend while producing the same output. Or you can do that 1 practice exam in half an hour in less than 1 hour, right? Because it's an equation, output over input. So whether you increase the output or you decrease the input, that will yield higher productivity, right? And so like we said, like everyone says, work smart, not hard. You're still going to have to work hard as well, but if you can be more efficient, you don't need to work as hard as, I don't know. Just work smart, not hard. And so what this actually looks like is you dedicate time out of your schedule to put focused efforts into completing a task. So it's not like you wake up today and then you're like, what should I do? And then you just do whatever's on your mind. You need to pick out, like the night before or the week before, a time in your schedule in your day to be like, okay, this is what I need to do this week or tomorrow, and because that will identify what the most important task you need to do is, right? And so if you have an exam in a few days, then you know the highest quality task you can do is doing the practice exams. And so you put a time slot for that in your day, and then when you do it, you fully focus to that task. You don't multitask. You don't have your phone next to you, right? Like you put full focus, full attention on this one task. And so the importance of productivity. This is the difference between a mediocre student and a successful one, how productive they are. It's also the difference between a wealthy man and a poor man, how productive they are. And a strong muscular man and a weak, skinny, or fat man, right? All of them, their difference is how productive they are. And obviously we're assuming that if all their life situation was the same, like they didn't have some trauma or some like disability that's obviously not allowing them to succeed at being a student or in their business or whatever, right? If you got two same exact people, and then one of them turned out to be wealthy, one of them to be poor, it's probably their productivity. And your productivity gets you towards your goals while still giving you freedom for other priorities in your life. So you can be a good student and still have enough time to go to the gym, still have enough time to work on a skill, make content, start a business, or even like spend time with your family and actually making good friends as well, right? And this is what got me from being a skinny guy to a strong guy as well, right? Building a decent physique. Can be for someone who didn't do any work, always procrastinated, to then actually doing work, getting good at my studies, and actually feeling some type of accomplishment. Same thing with actually doing content and starting or developing my skills. All of that is shifting my productivity. Also it could be you and you in 5 weeks. So the difference between you now watching this video and you in 5 weeks once you've completed the accelerator course. The difference is going to be is you improved your productivity. Or at least you got the knowledge to improve your productivity. And so we need to put some realistic expectations. So since productivity is efficiency, your mindset needs to focus on efficiency. Your lifestyle needs to facilitate efficiency. And it's going to take continuous effort, continuous self-improvement, and you're going to get continuous doubts, you're going to make continuous mistakes, and you're going to go through failures. And what I mean when I say your mindset needs to focus on efficiency, it's like you basically wake up and you're like, okay, I need to do this task, this task, this task. You look at your schedule and it's like, all right, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. this task, 9 a.m. to 11 this task, then 11 to 11:30 is like an eating break, right? And then let's say 1 to 2 is a gym break or something, right? And then your lifestyle is like you're gonna have such a crazy routine once you actually get really productive, but it's gonna feel so nice because you're just gonna keep hitting the task, and then you're gonna get closer to your goals, and it's gonna feel like a video game. So we're gonna be playing less of the actual fake video games that give you fake dopamine, and more of treating your life like a video game, which will give you more real dopamine. And so what we need to do now is actually assess your productivity. And so since productivity is output over input, I'm going to keep repeating that. Productivity equals output over input. You need to choose your most common or your most medium difficulty task. So let's say as a student, maybe it's a 500-word essay. Or as a content creator, maybe it's just recording a single YouTube video. It's not too difficult, but it's not too easy either, right? And it's probably one of your most common tasks that you have to do on a day-to-day basis. And so what I need you to think about is, what is the average time you currently spend to get that task done from start to finish? And this includes the time it takes for you to get started and mentally warm up for the task, and the time you spend procrastinating and watching TikToks and videos in the middle of the task. So let's say you start, you're supposed to start the task at 12 p.m., right? And then at 12 p.m., you start thinking about it. So you're putting actual attention and time, and your brain points to it, right? You're putting your brain power into the task, and you're thinking about it, but you didn't start it yet. And let's say you're warming up, like you're stretching, whatever. You're just looking at the screen, staring at the Google Doc document that you're supposed to write the essay for, right? And you're just chilling there, and then you start at 12:30. And let's say you do some work from 12:30 to 1. And then let's say for some reason you just took a break and you started watching videos for like 45 minutes. So it's 12:45 now, or whatever, 1:45 now, yeah? And let's say you got back to the task and you finished by 3. So your actual time, the time it took, 12 to 3. It's not the 1 hour or 1 hour and a half that you actually put into working into the task. It's actually 3 hours. And so, because that's technically time you wasted just because you were thinking about the task or you were delaying the task. So it's still due to the task, right? So once you get the time, obviously write this down. And this is important because you'll realize exactly how much work you need to put in to get to your desired level of productivity. Because now, if you know that your most common task takes 3 hours, then you can kind of create a new goal. It's like, okay, I want this goal to now take me an hour and a half or an hour. And that sounds crazy. Imagine cutting your productivity, you're increasing productivity by 3 times if you're going from 3 hours to 1. And we're going to use this number to compare and see how much progress you make until the end of the program. So write this down, type this down, whatever you're taking notes on, right? Because we're going to be comparing this at the end of the program. And so a quick summary of this video is, first of all, productivity equals efficiency, and productivity also equals output over input. Busy does not always equal productive. We already went over this. It depends on the quality of the task, like if you are doing the most important task, and also how many tasks are you actually doing. Increasing productivity can be either done by raising your output or lowering input, right? It's just a math equation. And we also assess your current level of productivity. And we have the upcoming videos, which are identifying mindset barriers and limiting beliefs, understanding procrastination, setting goals, and creating a productivity plan, and that's just for week 1. So there's a lot more things coming. Obviously, the actual step for this video is assessing your current productivity level, and keep this number safe for later. So make sure to write down what the common tasks you chose, and then how much time you actually take to do the task. All right, so we talked about productivity and what it actually means, and we also assessed your current productivity level. And in this video, we're going to be talking about mindset barriers and limiting beliefs. And so a quick overview of this video. First, we're going to be talking about the power of thoughts. Then we're going to be recognizing existing mindset barriers and limiting beliefs. Then we're going to understand the origin of those mindset barriers and limiting beliefs. And then we're going to be creating a plan to actually break them and replace them. And so, first of all, why are we even discussing mindset and beliefs? It's a very repeated topic, and I think rightly so. It deserves to be repeated and repeated over and over. And because your mindset and your beliefs directly shape your productivity, your work ethic, and your life outcomes. And so first of all, imagine the difference between the work ethic of a student who believes they can get an A+ and a student who thinks it is impossible. How hard would they actually work? Or the difference between a man who has a money abundance mindset and a man with a money scarcity mindset. Again, who would work harder in their career or their business? And so the power of thoughts. Both poverty and riches are the offspring of thoughts. A quote by Napoleon Hill in his book, Think and Grow Rich. Such a good read if you guys actually want to read it. Yeah, I've read it before. It's actually a nice book. And so basically, he's trying to say that your thoughts act like a magnet. And so if they're negative, you will attract a negative lifestyle because your magnet will attract like things. And so if they're opposite, they're a positive magnet, then you will attract a positive or the positive counterpart. And that means that the way you think, the thoughts that you put into your brain, they're going to shape exactly how you live your life. And that's a big deal, right? And so your mindset and beliefs shape the thoughts you receive in your brain, even if they're subconscious. Sometimes we think and we get thoughts, and it's like, where did that come from? I didn't want to think that thought, right? Or you just get an idea in your brain, right? Like if it's a business idea or like it's a word you're trying to think of, and then like 5 hours later, like, that's the word I was trying to think about. A lot of the things that we think about are subconscious, but they're altered by the mindset and beliefs. And so if you're always a type of person that's thinking about going to the gym or taking care of your diet, then you're going to keep getting ideas on how to help you to do exactly that, right? Or if you're a person that's like really into business and you're always thinking about your business and how to make more money and how to make your product better, then out of nowhere, sometimes you're going to get ideas that will help you make your product better. And it's like, I didn't even think of that. It just came into my head. And so if you alter your mindset and beliefs, you alter your thoughts, and then so you alter your life outcomes. So that's a big deal then. So we need to recognize the barriers and limitations that you might have. You probably have mindset barriers and limiting beliefs, or else you would get to your desired goals. You would not watch this video if you were at your desired goals. You joined this community for a reason. And yeah, we all have limiting beliefs and mindset barriers that are like not allowing us to get to our goals. And so I had many as well. And it took years of convincing myself that I can get to my goals by actually just taking action, going outside my comfort zone to try the impossible, and then finding out it wasn't impossible. And so actually doing it against my will until I saw some type of progress and results that will later fuel me to continue. And so in the gym, I never thought I'd like lose the weight, or never thought I would build enough muscle to actually look jacked. Right? I thought it was just like a IG Reels thing. All the freaking guys on IG Reels, they just look jacked, look lean, like 7% body fat. But yeah, I'm just some type of skinny fat type of guy. Like, yeah, it is what it is. But then it took me actually just going out of my will. It was not even in my, like it was against my will. I just took myself to the gym, dragged myself to the gym until like 2 months later, I saw some definition like, hold up, and then actually gaining weight on the scale and building muscle, taking pictures of myself in the mirror, and like, hold up, there's a difference, okay. And then you see the progress, and it fuels you to continue. And now I go there for fun. I go every day to the gym for fun. And so again, it took me from a skinny guy to a muscular type of guy, and then it took me from someone who didn't care about anything, who didn't believe they can be a good student or someone who can focus, to someone who does exactly that now. And again, against my will until I saw some type of results. And then from some type of guy who didn't think he could make good YouTube videos. He didn't think I could like even do YouTube videos. It's kind of embarrassing, whatever, right? What if someone finds out? What if someone I know? What if my friends see? What if my family see? To someone who just doesn't care now. I just post, and I even have a whole school community now. It took me from someone who like barely could run. Like, look at my pace. A 1 kilometer run was a 6:20 pace, 6 minutes and 20 seconds for a 1 kilometer run, and this average pace, like that's the amount of minutes per kilometer, into then running a half marathon in 3 months. 3 months later, running a half marathon, and I actually 4 days later after this marathon run, I ran a second marathon run with my friend, and so again against my will until I saw some type of results. And it took a lot of hard work, but it was worth it. I would do it again. I would do it again without even thinking about it. And again, it could be the difference between you now and you in 5 weeks, or you in 2 years. When you keep implementing, keep doing the tasks that you need to do, that's the difference that you can make in your life. And so you probably have mindset barriers and limiting beliefs, again, like we said, or else you would be at your desired outcome. And so common signs of having low or mindset barriers and limiting beliefs can be low self-esteem, always negatively talking about yourself, whether to other people or just to yourself, like within yourself, right? You know the people who make those like self-deprecating jokes. Sorry, they're always like, I'm just ugly, or I don't have game or something, right? Or I'm just skinny, or I'm just fat, or I'm just ugly, right? Whatever, right? Those people have low self-esteem. Like, why are you using yourself to make others think lowly of yourself just so they can laugh? Is it worth that validation? And so it can also include within yourself as well, going into an exam, and you're negatively talking about it. You're going into it with not an optimistic view, right? You have low self-esteem going into an exam. You have low self-esteem even before doing the exam. Just studying for the exam, it's like, this is not going to go great. And that's going to impact how hard you're going to study. It's also going to impact, like, imagine doing a gym PR and you're like, before doing the PR, you're like, no, I'm not doing it. Like, it's too heavy. Right? Like, bro, come on. Are you really going to lift as hard as you can? Or like an interview or the sales call, it's all going to apply in your whole life. And so some signs can also be just feeling less than others around you. Like, why would you feel less when you're all just human? We all start at different starting points, sir. Like, some people are better at other things than other people. But that means you're also better at something than most people are as well. And it takes also time and effort into becoming good at the things that you're good at. Another sign that I see a lot of people do is self-diagnosing themselves with like ADHD and other conditions, just so you can give yourself a cope or an excuse to not do the work. Oh, I just can't focus. I have ADHD. Like, I just keep dozing around. So no, you just have a freaking goldfish brain. But our teacher said that to me once, like 2-3 years ago. Like, I just couldn't do the assignment in class. Like, I kept talking to my friends, going on my phone. At that time, it was like the NFT market was booming, so I'd always check the NFT market instead of doing my classwork. And bro, she came up to me, she's like, Jafar, you have a goldfish brain. And bro, I was so offended, but like, honestly, she was so right. Yeah, so we've all been there, but we need to work towards actually becoming the people we want to be. Okay, and so we need to understand the origin of our barriers and limitations. Your barriers and limitations could have possibly been gradually instilled in your mind through life factors such as your family upbringing, your past experiences, your societal conditioning, and your fear of failure and vulnerability. And so your family might have just always treated you like a little kid, never gave you actual responsibility, always kind of spoiled you, and like, whenever they wanted to ask you something, like whenever they never actually gave you tasks to make you feel independent, feel capable of doing things. It's like, he's just a little guy, he doesn't know anything yet. No, he just doesn't know anything. And when you turn 18, it's like, okay, what are you doing? You need to be good at your studies, you need to make money on the side. So then all the responsibilities kind of switch on when you turn 18 for some reason, like it's some maturity age, when not really. And then past experiences, like if you just, I don't know, if you've experienced failure before and you just never actually gotten past, if you haven't gone past that, kind of never forgot that past experience is gonna keep like drilling into your brain the thought that you're not capable, that you don't deserve the good things that you see people on Instagram and YouTube, all the rich people, right? You don't think you deserve the same lifestyle. And then also your fear of failure. You don't want to look vulnerable. You don't want to be at the front stage. You don't want people to look at you. It's the same thing with me. I didn't want to record the videos because I don't want people to look at me. It felt like such a vulnerable position, and it took a lot of willpower to actually get past that. And then also societal conditioning telling you that, oh, 9 to 5 is like all that you need. Like they kind of want to make everyone just be the same type of person, same personality, and that way you don't have to actually put yourself out there and be in a vulnerable or out of your comfort zone, right? But the people who always succeed put themselves against the norm when it applies, obviously, right? When being in the norm is not good, then you should go out the norm. But most people stay in the norm even though they know they shouldn't be, but they're just scared of being vulnerable. And although some of this may not actually be your fault, if you do nothing about it, you will have the same barriers, and they might even develop and worsen as you go through your life. And so all this conditioning is very gradual, and it's not like it happened like during one night. It didn't happen overnight, and it took years from the day you were born. You were conditioned to the way you think about yourself right now. And if you don't do anything about it, if you neglect it, it's only going to get worse. And even if it doesn't get worse, like you're still going to stay in the same position you are today. So we don't want that. So we need to identify the barriers and limitations that you might have. And so your task now is to list as many limiting beliefs as you can and write them down on a paper or type them out. Again, take notes and do the action steps I'm giving you. For example, I've had many beliefs that used to set me back, and I still have some of them today. And these can include, so I used to think that I can't get into a top university, or I can't make money online. I don't know how to sell. I don't know how to make good YouTube videos. I can't build muscle. I can't lose weight. I can't focus. Video games are good for me, etc. There's so many things that you can think about, so many limiting beliefs. So list as many as you, even if you don't think they impact you that much, but if it just pops in your head, that means write it down. If any of these pop in your head, or any extra pop in your head, just know it actually affects you. And so once you write them down, we're going to work on how to actually break and replace them. And so now that you have identified what is holding you back, we need to break it and replace it with a belief or a mindset that will push you forward. So instead of a negative one, you need to replace it with a positive one. The way to actually break them is to just take action, like I said. Example, you can't get good grades, go study. If you think, well, that's what I'm saying. If your limiting belief is that you can't get good grades, then just go study. If your belief is that you can't make good YouTube videos, go record. Exactly what I did. I thought I couldn't make good YouTube videos, so I just went and recorded it. I watched it, I was like, it's not a good YouTube video, so I want to record it again. And until now, a lot of the videos, most videos that I make, I'm like, it's not a good YouTube video. So then what do I do? I keep recording until I someday get good at it. And even when I get theoretically good at making YouTube videos, I'm still gonna think that it could have been better, right? And that's what pushes like a man to become better at the things he does. Is you just want to see progress. Like we live to just see ourselves progress and get better and better every day. If you're stagnant, even if it's just for one day, you just feel like you're losing in life. You're like everyone's getting ahead of you or something, right? And so, yeah, I don't know why that's duplicated actually, but. And so I know it sounds very simple, but that's because it is very simple. And like I said, that's exactly what I did. Like I thought I couldn't make muscle, so I just went to the gym until I did make muscle. Until I did build a decent physique. It's not rocket science. There's no crazy formula to success. Do the blatantly obvious work, and you will eventually make progress. Consistency does not guarantee that you'll be successful, but not being consistent will guarantee that you won't reach success. And that's a quote by Chris Williamson. You've probably seen his podcast, Modern Wisdom. Everyone knows Chris Williamson, surely, right? You'd think. So look at each of your limitations you listed and write down simple action steps to break those limitations. So first of all, you listed all the limiting beliefs, and now I'm telling you, put down a simple action step for each of those limiting beliefs, all right? So make sure to do that right now. And the longer you stick to your action steps, the more likely you'll see progress and improvements, which will feel really nice. And make sure to actually post them in the community as well when you make small wins. Or big wins, right? Whatever you do, post them and motivate others. And you're gonna feel good for others congratulating you and actually recognizing you as someone who's disciplined, consistent, right? It feels nice, That's why we have the community and the brotherhood. And the more wins you get, the more evidence you get to show yourself, and you get to show yourself and your brain that you're capable. And you will eventually eliminate any negative beliefs and replace them with positive ones, which will ultimately give you a growth mindset. And that's exactly what everyone did. Everyone who succeeded, they had limiting beliefs. They did the work, even though it was very unpleasant, until they showed themselves evidence, right? When you want to win an argument, you show actual evidence. So you're arguing with your brain right now on your limiting beliefs. Your heart wants to prove them wrong, but your brain is just like, no, we can't do this. So once you actually get evidence, your brain is gonna get convinced that you're capable. Like, if you don't think you can get good grades, but you just study, do the action step and get a good grade, that's more evidence to your brain. It's like, wait, hold up, maybe we can actually, maybe he's right, maybe we can actually get good grades. And then once you have such high self-conviction, you're gonna have a growth mindset, because you're gonna go into everything thinking, I can do this, I'm capable. We're gonna do our best, and it's gonna work somehow. Yeah. And so growing from a boy to a man does not occur at a certain age. Like we said, it doesn't just occur at 18. That's not a maturity age. That's what society sets, but it doesn't mean that's correct. And growing from a boy to a man, it's not when you look bigger and you grow muscle. It's not when you grow facial hair, but it's when you start taking more responsibility for things in your life. And what I mean by that is you take full responsibility of your life, the good and the bad. Whatever mistakes you've done and whatever wins you get, you take accountability for both. And taking accountability for the wins will feel nice, because yeah, I did this. I built the muscle. I did this. But taking responsibility for the bad things is never a nice thing. And most people don't. And it's like, for me, for example, I always try to do that. But for example, a few days ago, I played a football match or a soccer match, right? So I played a football match and we just lost horribly wrong, right? And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter that much. It's like recreational football. And instead of just saying, I played bad, my first instinct was like, oh, no one was trying, right? And that's why we lost, because none of my team was trying. But when I actually looked at it, none of us tried. We all played bad. And so I did not take responsibility for the bad things in my life that day. And so what we need to do is take responsibility for the bad things that happen in our life too. Even if it's a thing that have not been in your control. If it's something with your upbringing and you're 4 years old and like people, like your family just, or your society or your family or school just programmed you into being the man you are today, and you don't like the man you are today, just take responsibility over, you know what, I should be better. And you're good. That's when you actually take on more responsibility and you feel like more of a man. You feel like you can take control of your life. When you take responsibility, you take control over your life. Just like the captain of the ship. When he takes control of the ship, he also takes responsibility over everyone in the ship, all the staff, all the actual passengers on board. And so, yeah, just take responsibility. It won't feel nice all the time, but you'll definitely feel more mature and more like a man, I guess. And so a quick summary for this video is, we first talked about the power of thoughts and how they can shape the outcomes in your life. We recognized and understood some of the barriers and limitations that you might have in your life. We learned how you can break them and replace them, and it's such a simple method. Just do the action steps, the simple action steps that you know you should be doing. It's not some rocket science. You know exactly what you should do, but you're limiting yourself and you're putting a barrier from actually doing the tasks themselves. And some upcoming videos in this module is understanding procrastination, setting goals, and creating a productivity plan. I'm really excited for you to learn from those, and I hope you learn from this video as well. Some action steps for this video is list your limiting beliefs along with a simple action step each to eliminate them, right? So make sure to actually write that down. All right, boys, so this is the third video of the first module, week 1, foundations. And today we're going to be understanding procrastination. And so a quick overview for this video is, first, understanding procrastination and kind of linking it to the last video about limiting beliefs, recognizing reality, avoiding procrastination. And so to start off this video, I wanted to talk about what is procrastination exactly, because it's such a vague topic and always, it just mentioned a lot, and so some people might not know what it actually means. So what is procrastination? And procrastination is the act of delaying and avoiding tasks. And what it can also be is not doing the most important task. And so imagine you had a test to study for, and instead of doing the task that you're supposed to do, which is doing the practice exams, because that's what yields the best results and the best learning, you just spend your time highlighting textbook pages, right? Because it just feels easier. It's a more of a shallow type of work, and you're doing another task as a cope to avoid the main task. So it's still considered avoiding the task. So not doing the important task, even though you're doing a task, is still procrastination. And yeah, like I said, the act of delaying and avoiding tasks. And since not doing the most important task is avoiding the task, that is procrastination. And procrastination can stem from poor mental health, low self-esteem, and limiting beliefs. So we're linking it to the last video. And so you delay and avoid the most important task because you want to get in the mood to get to do work. So you do some shallow work that won't actually make a difference or give you much progress towards your goals, towards your aim. So it's like you're not actually doing the practice tests that are essential for the exam, but you're just doing shallow work such as highlighting textbook, rewriting your notes to make them look pretty. As a cope, just feel busy, but you're not really being productive, right? You're just procrastinating. And so procrastination is a coping mechanism, and it can stem from overthinking and stressing about the thinking of the task. So you're stressed just thinking about the task that you have to do, and so you avoid the task. And this stress can stem from no self-conviction and limiting beliefs. And a way to combat that is just to stop thinking and just do the work and prove to yourself that you're actually capable of doing the work. And so obviously when you're going into a task that you're not confident that you're going to be able to do, or you have limiting beliefs about it, like going into it, you can have negative thoughts going to it, obviously you're not going to do it. And even if you do it, you're going to do such a bad job at it. And so this is a quote by Alex Hormozy. Hopefully you guys know who he is. You're on school, so he's like the co-owner of school. So an easy productivity hack. Instead of spending time getting in the mood to work, just start working. Confront the work. People think they need perfect conditions to start, when in reality, starting is the best condition. And so there's a big rabbit hole when it comes to procrastination, because it goes like this. So you avoid a task because you're stressed out and you want to get instant gratification, instead through something like playing video games. So instead of doing the task and feeling stressed, you want to feel good and get it right away. So you play video games, go on social media, you know what it is, right? And then after you do that, you're now behind on your to-do list. So then your tasks keep stacking and the list just feels even more unbearable. And this causes you even more stress. So on top of the stress, thinking about the tasks, now you have more tasks, so then you have even more stress. And so now you're even more vulnerable to procrastination. And so even if you do the task eventually, the work that you'll produce will be late. Or if it's not late, it's going to be really low quality because you just rushed it and you had such a time constraint. And then the loop just resets and continues and whatever. And so the more stress you add onto your life, the more vulnerable you are to procrastination. So if you just did the task from the beginning, the whole loop would have broke, right? You wouldn't be in the situation where your tasks overlap with each other and you have so many due dates and whatever, right? Assignments, tests to study for. You guys have been there, right? So you guys should know what it feels like. And so we need to quickly recognize reality, because life is not a fairy tale and work will never feel good as playing the actual video game. It's not supposed to feel good. That's the thing. Even passion businesses that people start because they love to do this thing, right? They're not going to always feel easy to run. Some days you're not going to want to do the work. You're going to want to sit down, watch Netflix, watch some shows, eat a bunch of junk food, right? You're never going to feel in the mood. You think, I always feel in the mood to go to the gym. I'm not in the mood like 60% of the time minimum. But it's not supposed to be fun all the time. Sure, sometimes it is fun. Sometimes recording the videos is fun. Sometimes waking up early is fun. But sometimes it's not. Or most of the time it's not, actually. And so you need to just humble your expectations when it comes to how work is supposed to feel. Life is supposed to be tough, especially as a man. So it's tough for everyone regardless. So you need to humble your expectations and embrace the struggle. And yet at the same time, be excited, because this work and struggle will enable growth. And this is the realistic video game. Because you can level up and see the real rewards in your life, which will feel better than playing the fake game. Because you can actually do something with the goals you get in your real life. With a video game, you can't really do anything. Unless you're a video game streamer, then that's your job. But, yeah, so if you make actual progress in your life, it's something that you can be proud of, something that, I don't know, it's just, you can celebrate that, not just like the video game. And so, we want to avoid procrastination, but how exactly do we do that? And so in order to actually avoid the action of procrastination, so it's actually funny because the action of procrastination just means the action of not doing action, right? So how do we avoid that action? So we need to break the habit loop. And this is the habit loop as described in Atomic Habits. If you guys haven't read Atomic Habits, such a good book, and it deeply talks about the habit loop and how to break bad habits using the loop and create good habits based on the habit loop. And so this is the habit loop, and it consists of 4 stages. And so the habit starts off when there's a cue or a trigger. And so the cue or the trigger when it comes to procrastination could be something like feeling stressed, feeling bored, feeling sad, feeling angry. It's usually associated with some type of emotion, right? Because that's what gets you, or gets you to want to procrastinate, right? Because it doesn't come out just out of nowhere, right? Like you're going to do the task, and it's not like, oh, I just don't want to, like, I don't want this. It comes out of a reason because you're just bored. I don't want to do it. Like, I just can't be asked, or you're sad. You're like, oh man, not later, or you're stressed and like, no, I need to calm down and then I'll do it later. Like, my head hurts or something, right? And then the second stage is the craving that you get after the cue. And so for our example, it's gonna be something pretty much instant gratification. So just a quick sense of relief and a dopamine rush to distract from emotion. You want to relieve yourself out of the emotion, and so you want instant gratification to just get that quick sense of relief. It's very easy to get, and so we just really want it, right? It's very desirable because it's quick to get. And so the third stage is the response, in which it will give you what you want, like what you're craving, right? The response is designed to give you what you're craving. And so for our example, it's going to be probably going on social media, playing video games, binge eating, because for those comfort eaters like me, whenever I'm stressed, I really want to binge eat. Even for some of us, fapping, which is haram. And honestly, even for some of us, doing shallow work. Obviously, that's better than going on the social media, the video games, the binge eating, and the fapping, right? But that's still procrastination. It's still not going to get you to your goal. And it's not as good as if you were just productive and did the task that you're supposed to do. And so, once you do the response, you then immediately get the reward. And so the word for our case would be a temporary sense of relief and even a small sense of accomplishment. This is true if you're playing video games, then you level up and you get a quick sense of accomplishment. Like, you feel like you accomplished something in your life, but you didn't really. But it's just how the video game is actually designed. And so I want you to actually write down your habit loop. So when it comes to procrastination, what does your habit loop look like? And by the way, for all of these lectures, I provided you with a worksheet. If you go on just under the video, in the action step, I also linked the worksheet that corresponds with the exercise or the action step of that video. And so I didn't mention it earlier, but you can do that if you want to write it digitally. You can do it as a Google Doc, and you can write them down so that you can save them later, because we're going to have a massive week 1 post coming at the end of the module, and it's obviously just good to interact so that you can learn from these videos and you can implement the advice. And so write down your current habit loop when it comes to procrastination. So write down the cue, the craving, the response, and the reward. What do they look like? Like, maybe it could be like, for me, it's like the cue is feeling stressed. And then the craving is instant gratification. And then the response is binge eating. And then the reward is a temporary sense of relief. And so this way, you're going to know exactly what triggers your procrastination, and exactly, like, if I know that binge eating is my way to just get that sense of relief when I'm stressed, then I can design my life and my environment so that I can tackle that problem, right? So you're foreseeing failure. This is a phrase that I really like. What's it called? This is one YouTuber that I watched. I forgot who it is, but he was always talking about foreseeing failure. If you can foresee the possible failures that can get in your way towards your goals, so if you can already imagine the wall, the barrier that can be between you and your goals, you can pre-plan to like kind of swerve around it so that you don't have to hit the wall, right? And so if you plan to avoid the problem from now, then you're more likely to not actually have to go through the problem, because you've already tackled it by designing your lifestyle and your environment. And so exactly, it's like, imagine you're seeing a pothole, but you knew it was coming from 100 meters away, or you just saw the pothole a meter away from it. Aren't you more likely to avoid it if you already know where it is 100 meters further back, right? So this is the same type of analogy. And so one of the methods that I use to avoid procrastination is The 2 Minute Rule, and it's also out of Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's such a good read. It was my first self-improvement book that I've read, and also the first book that I actually truly read outside of just the school curriculum. Because, in school you get assigned the readings, you barely read them, I never read them. But then, I don't know, I just had a bad association when it came to reading books. It's like, oh, it's not fun, it's not supposed to be, like, it wasn't something that I associated as good. But then I actually, went out of, I guess, my will and started reading books, and this was my first book. And I was so bad, my focus and my attention was so bad, that it took me 4 months, 5 months to read this book. Which it's not even that crazy of a book, right? It's not a big book. But nevertheless, it was such a good book, right? And I even took notes on it. And that's exactly why I remember all the things like the habit loop, the 2 minute rule, the cue, craving, response, reward. All these things I remember because I actually took notes on the book. So take notes on these lectures I'm giving you. Take notes on the books that you read, because just like the notes you take at school to remember the information there, you do the same thing outside of your life. You have to apply the same logic here so that you can retain the information you learn from the videos and the books and whatever you're watching that's actually kind of self-help related. And so, let's get back into it. The 2 minute rule. So what is the 2 minute rule? So first of all, if we can limit the habit cue as much as possible, like we said, the habit cue is the first step out of the 4, right? And so theoretically, if we can limit us getting that cue as much as possible, we can theoretically limit the chances that the habit loop is completed, since we disrupt the first step. It's kind of like a funnel, right? Like for all of you that work in ads or marketing, whatever, right? Like there's the stages in the funnel. And so if we disrupt the first stage, which is the biggest stage, then it's harder to actually get the habit to be completed. The same thing was if we disrupt the Facebook ad or something, right? Then that means barely any people are gonna get to the final landing page or the sales page, right? So so theoretically, if you limit the habit cue, then the loop is not really going to be completed that much. It's going to be very rare. And so, in order to get us getting the cue, we need to limit the stress we get thinking about the task. And the way we do that is by making the task seem very achievable. And that's where the 2 minute rule comes in. So the 2 minute rule is great at making tasks seem very easy, and it would therefore limit stressing about thinking about the task, right? I already talked about this. If you don't stress much about the task, then you're more likely to actually do it. And so the way it works is let's say our task was reading, and you want to read for 30 minutes, right? And so if you actually put out the task, if you guys have tried, you put the goal as I want to read 30 minutes a day. How many of you actually accomplished that? And even if you did, how long did you actually stick to it? How long did you stick to it until you missed a day, and then that day becomes 2 days, and then honestly, it just feels like, okay, I already missed 2 days. I might as well just keep missing more days. If you miss one day, the more you miss, the more motivation you get to miss other days, right? Imagine if, even though you want to read 30 minutes a day, your goal is reading 2 minutes a day, or reading 1 page. That's my goal, reading 1 page. But that's kind of similar to 2 minutes, because a page is going to take probably a minute or two. And so, if your goal was reading for 2 minutes, wouldn't you be able to achieve that much more than if your goal is reading for 30 minutes? And then theoretically, you're gonna read more than 2 minutes anyways, right? Most days you're actually gonna read more than the 2 minutes, because you're getting in the flow. You read already the first page. You're not gonna just stop there, right? And so you're actually gonna go over the 2 minutes and gonna overpass the goal by a lot most days. But what if that one day they were just really, really busy, right? And then all you could do is read for 5 minutes. All you could do is read for 3 minutes or 2 minutes, right? Then you've also ticked the goal. That means you've kept the consistency and the habit of reading. But if you had the 30 minutes goal, then that one day you wouldn't even tick the goal. So then, honestly, I wouldn't even read for the 5 minutes. So if my goal was reading for 30 minutes and I know I only have 5 minutes or only 10 minutes to read, honestly, I wouldn't even be that motivated to read. I'd be like, 5 minutes is not going to do much of an impact anyways, so I'll just read tomorrow. And so what does that mean? I didn't take off reading for today. I didn't read today. I didn't progress through the book today. But if I had the 2 minute goal, it's like, okay, it is what it is. I know I could do better, but at least I took the goal. Read for the 2 minutes. Read for the 5 minutes. And so the 5 minutes is actually overpassing the goal anyways. And so you're not going to feel stressed, and you're not going to be, I guess, motivated to skip the task when you know that the task is very achievable. It's like right now I've told you to just run 100 meters, and then if I told you run 5 kilometers, and just out of nowhere be like, okay, right now we're going. Obviously, you're not going to stress over the 100 meters because we can just go run it right now. For the 5 kilometers, you need to prepare, you need to put time into it, you need to get maybe like a snack and some electrolytes before, right? Because even though 5K for some of you, it won't be a lot, right? But still, it needs a lot more prep than the 100 meters. But if I just said, all I have to do is run 100 meters every day and not running 5K every day, then that's kind of a similar analogy. Obviously, 100 meters to 5K is more of a stretch between 2 minutes and 30 minutes. But regardless, same type of logic. And so another method for avoiding procrastination is prioritizing tasks. And so we need to first focus on the tasks that we yield us the most impact towards our goal, and then we can focus on those shallow tasks that maybe won't move the needle that much towards our goals. And so you realistically know what those priority tasks are, right? You need to know what needs to be done to get towards your goal. And so like we said, for studying, you know that practice tests are the most effective way to study. And if you don't know that, I'm telling you, because they are. Through a lot of research, testing is the most important task that when it comes to memory and learning for preparing for an exam, because you're putting yourself in a similar environment and you're giving yourself questions that could actually be on the test as well. And so if you prioritize your tasks, you would do that for most of the time you spend studying, and then maybe 10% of the time you study for, you actually read the notes, you highlight the textbook, or whatever else shallow tasks you want to do. And so that way you get a lot of work done and you don't feel stressed about it anymore. And so again, instead of rewriting your notes 3 times, read through them once and practice 10 past exams. That's a lot more productive and it will prep you a lot more for the exam. Another example, instead of focusing, like if you're running an SMMA, right? A social media marketing agency. So instead of focusing on the best outreach message for days, just go and actually just test them and tweak them after enough data exists to analyze. So instead of just using ChatGPT and getting a copywriting course, I'll just to make this one message, just this one message, you work 3 days on just this one intro message, right? Instead of doing that, just use the outreach message and test it. Send it to in the same time you can send it to over 500 people, over 1,000 people, and you look at the response rate. And then after that, you have enough data to analyze if it's decent, good, or maybe you don't know, so keep doing it. But that's what's going to actually get you towards your goals. That's what's going to get you to potentially signing that client. And so that's much more effective than doing the shallow tasks that don't require much brain power and willpower, especially. But we all know what we need to do to get to our goals, but we just don't do them. And another example, instead of me just spending days scripting, writing every word I need to say in this video, I just record. For my other YouTube videos, I put a lot more effort into these slides and whatever. These actually take a bunch of time. So please, I hope you actually benefit from them. And if you're not, then give some actual feedback. Anyways, for my actual YouTube videos, I have 5 bullet points and exactly just the main topics I wanna talk about. So then when I record, I kind of have the notes on my laptop so that I know exactly what I want to talk about and I don't forget anything important. But I don't script every single word. And it's something I used to do for the first few videos because I was just really nervous about recording and I kept stuttering and whatever. But imagine if I just spent a third of that time only just scripting and writing quick notes, and then I used the other time I used for scripting to actually record more videos. I would upload more videos and I would test more videos, right? I would test exactly how the video worked and if it was performing in the algorithm or not. But instead, I just spent it trying to make the script perfect when I wasn't even perfect at filming and talking on camera. So it would make more sense to just practice my skill of talking to a camera. And there's also other methods to avoid procrastination. So if you build a daily routine, this is going to ensure that you're getting towards your goals, since you're putting time every day towards the same goals. And we're going to talk more about that in upcoming videos. And so having a daily routine is essential because you don't want to plan for your day the same day. You want to plan for your day the night of the week before, right? Also, having an accountability partner or an accountability group provides you with more motivation to actually stay on track. And like we said, people pay thousands a month for an accountability coach. Someone that's going to call them every day and send them messages, hop on Zoom calls every week, and talk to them. Be like, yo, so what'd you do this week? What did you do right? What did you do wrong? What could you improve on for next week? And then they actually ask them, like, did you actually go to the gym this week? Did you actually take care of your diet this week? And so, like, someone that's always always freaking behind you, asking you questions, like, you're gonna want to perform at your best so that you can tell them, yes, I actually went to the gym. Yes, I took care of my diet, right? And that's exactly the power of Frontline Academy and the community it has. We keep each other accountable with the weekly posts, with the other tasks I'm going to tell you to do to keep you engaged in the community. And so you can help other people out. When they're lacking, you tell them, yo, just do this, you know what you need to do, just do it, right? And imagine the feeling he's going to get, be like, yo, he's low-key right, like, I'm just not doing the work, I'm being lazy, I'm being, like, I don't know. But just knowing some people are actually, like, motivating you, telling you exactly what you need to do, and then congratulating you when you actually do the proper work is going to create a positive feedback loop in your brain that what you're doing is right and you should keep doing it because it makes you feel good. And so other methods are using tools such as a habit tracker and a calendar schedule to give you analytics to see how productive you are towards your goals. And again, more details in upcoming videos in this module as well. So very soon, upcoming, we're going to build your schedule. We're going to set a habit tracker, and we're going to create a daily routine. So that should be really interesting, and it really helped me to become really productive and get towards my goals. And I'm going to teach you exactly that in upcoming videos. And so a quick summary for this video is we first define procrastination and exactly what it is. We recognize the reality of the nature of work and how it's supposed to actually feel. And it's not supposed to feel good most of the time. And we also talk about methods to avoid procrastination. And so in upcoming videos, we're going to be setting goals and exactly turning goals into systems so that you can actually implement actions to get towards your goals. Not just having goals just written down on a piece of paper and it's just kind of a dream. It's like, I'm not just writing, I want to become a millionaire. And then you just stare at it. It's like, okay, how do I get there, right? So we're going to be turning them into systems so that you can actually achieve your goals. And then and another video is creating a productivity plan, and that's creating your schedule and your daily routine. And that's really, really valuable if you want to become a productive man. So some action steps for this video is, like we said, write down your current procrastination habit loop. So in this video, we're going to be talking about setting goals. And a quick overview for this video, like I always give you, is first we're going to introduce goal setting. Then we're going to be talking about the right way and the wrong way to set goals. And then we're going to be creating your goals. And then we're going to be breaking down your goals into actionable systems. And so a quick introduction to goal setting. Why do we need goals? And we need goals because they give us a roadmap and give us distance between where we are now and where we want to be. And so once you can tell there's a difference between point A and point B, then it's going to give you motivation. And goals kind of give you a roadmap of where you need to go to get to where you want to be. And goals also require us to be productive, maintain focus, and track our progress and how well we are doing. So it relates to productivity. And because, yeah, exactly. We need to be productive. If you're trying to get to your goals, you need to do the tasks. And to do the tasks, we need to be productive. And so there's a right way and a wrong way to set goals. And we all learn by other people and by school and whatever, by society, to set goals the wrong way. And what do I mean by that? How do you currently set your goals, right? Is it probably something like, I want to make 10K a month, or I want a six-pack, or be at 10% body fat, or I want an A+ average in school or university, right? That's probably how we all set up our goals, right? And that's the wrong way, because it's very generic, and sometimes it's not even realistic. Your goals need to be specific and realistic when considering your starting point. So if you have no idea on how to make money online, or you have no idea how to run a business, you're in school and university and you don't have a proper career, how are you going to make 10K a month? You're someone who's really skinny right now, or you're really fat and chubby. Like, you can't just go into a six-pack, 10% body fat. And you're someone who barely studies, whose average right now is probably maybe a D or a C. If that's who you are, then you can't set a goal of A+ average. If you're someone who doesn't study, doesn't have work ethic, you can't just put the goal, I want an A+. Sure, we all want that, but that can't be the way to structure your goals. And so instead of always orienting towards outcome-based goals, and so goals that are just focused on the results, the 10K a month, the money, the grades, the physique, right? Why not alter towards an input-based goals? So a goal that's based on how much work you put in. And so to get towards your goals, you need to achieve some type of amount of work done. And this is better because you're fully in control of the input. You're fully in control of the work that you put in. But you're not always going to be in control of the results that you're going to get. So you're not always going to guarantee that you're going to get 10K a month. But you can guarantee that you're going to put 2 hours a day of business work every day, right? That's in your control. And so, you can have the 10K a month, but who says you're going to reach it in the 2024 goals or the 2025 goals? What if you get it in 2027? Then what? Does it mean you did not achieve your goal? What if you just put in so much time every day, but you got to 3K a month? I think you hit your goal. Especially if you put in the work that you said you're going to put, then you've achieved your goal. And so we said input-based goals are much better than output-based goals. And an example of this is, instead of your goal being getting 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, why not make your goal to upload 100 videos this year, which equates to twice a week? And so if you upload twice weekly every week for the whole year, that's pretty impressive, dude. Barely anyone sticks to a whole year of uploading, and twice a week as well. Another example. So instead of your goal being getting an A+ average, your goal should be to, first of all, read every assigned reading or textbook chapters given by your teachers or your professors, attend every class, or unless you have an excused absence, and take notes on every class you attend, and for your tests, start studying a week in advance. If you hit all these goals, aren't you more likely to get an A+? You are. And even if you don't get an A+, you're definitely going to improve on the grade that you get right now. And so, if you tick off these habits or these tasks, then you should get towards your actual desires, which is the A+, which is the 10K subs, which is the $10,000 a month, right? And like we said, input better than output. And since you have full control of the input, you will also have full responsibility whether you achieve or you don't achieve the goal. Because with output-based goal, if you don't get the 10K a month, if you don't get the 10K subscribers, the A+, you're gonna it's not gonna feel like you're fully responsible, or you're just gonna feel bad. Either type of person where you just feel bad, you think of yourself really lowly, I can't achieve this, I'm so bad, I'm so lazy, I'm so I don't deserve this. Or you're gonna be the type of person that's gonna be like, man, it's not even my fault, life is not fair. So you can be either two extremes. But once you have an input-based goal, you're going to be in the middle where you take responsibility for actually whether you achieve or you don't achieve the goal. Because if your goal was to upload 100 videos this year and you uploaded 80, then who's responsible? You know you could have uploaded 20 more, but you didn't. And so you're responsible. You take responsibility, okay, you know what? I didn't achieve my goal and that's my fault. And so we need to improve on it for the next goals we're going to make. And the input-based goals develop a resilient mindset and foster self-growth, while also giving you a high chance of getting towards the actual results you desire. So doing the goals is actually going to give you a high probability that you're going to get close to that 10K subscribers, that 10K a month, that A+ average. But at the same time, it just gives you full responsibility and it's going to make you resilient, and it's going to be actual self-improvement and character growth. And so that's exactly what happened when I just changed my goals to input-based, where it's like, okay, let me go to the gym 5 times a week. That was my goal, right? Or 4 times a week, depending on how early in my gym journey I was. Or when I went to let me study. Let me read every assigned textbook chapter. Or let me take notes after every lecture. Or let me start studying for the test a week in advance. Or when I was record once weekly minimum, right? Instead of just saying, man, I want to get 10K subs by the end of the year, right? And then if I don't achieve it, then it's like, what? But if I just didn't upload the YouTube videos, then it's like, all right, it was my fault. And the same thing with the running. I just said, okay, just show up to the run. I didn't just say, oh, I want to run a sub 5 minute 5K run, like a sub 5 minute for every kilometer. So a sub 25 5K run. I didn't say that. Instead, I was like, just show up to the runs. Do the recovery runs that you have to do throughout the week. And then I got to actually running 2 half marathons in the span of 4 days. And this is going to be exactly you and you in 5 weeks as well. You're going to change the way that you're going to see goals and set goals. And you're actually going to see results in your life as well if you apply it. And so now we're actually going to be creating your goals. And so we're going to create your input-based goals. Again, there's a worksheet, Google Doc, I listed right below in the action step. There's a link. So click that. Make sure that unless you want to do it physically, actually. If you're doing digitally, I already provided the worksheet. You just have to fill in the blanks. And so what I want you to do is create one big goal for each category in your life that you want to achieve a year from now. And so an example, for academics, you can say, I want to read every assigned reading and write notes for every class. That's your goal for the whole year. Like a year from today, whatever. Like if you're watching today, if it's October 1st or something, then your goal is to the next October 1st. Or for fitness, it can be going to the gym 250 times out of 365 days. So having 250 gym workouts in the next year. Or for business, it's posting 50 YouTube videos or posting 150 short form content, so TikToks, Reels, Shorts, in the next year as well. And I don't want you to wait for the New Year's to actually write your yearly goals. A lot of people do that. It's like they just like, let's say they've been slacking up the whole year and they're like they want to change, but it's like October. It's like, you know, I already got to end of the year. I'm just gonna wait until January and then write my goals for all of 2025 because it just seems like it's nice. It's just convenient, right? It's the start of the year. So you're gonna waste October, November, December, 3 months, a quarter of a whole year. You're gonna waste just to wait for January so that you can progress towards your goals. Imagine you use those 3 months to progress. You know what? Sure, you can make 2025 goals, but at least make a goal from now to December. But honestly, I would just do it from now. Like if you have 3 months, work on those 3 months towards your goals and get a head start to your 2025 goals, right? So don't wait for the New Year's to have some type of goal. At least have some type of goal for now. But just do the exercise, do the yearly goal a year from now. And then when it actually comes, when it's December 31st, you can make new goals if you really want. Okay. So we can readjust when time comes, but we're not going to wait until then to put in work and effort into our goals. And so once you write down your yearly goals, and you should have done that, so pause this if you haven't already yet, and fill it out physically or digitally on the Google Docs or whatever else you want to write on. So now we're going to break down your goals. So we've done good work, but all we've done is write our yearly goals and what we want to achieve. But still, they're just dreams. Like you want to do that, but how are you going to do that? So we need to implement systems to ensure we make progress towards those goals. And so what we need to do now is break those yearly goals into month goals. And so how much work do you need to put in every month to ensure that you're on track for your yearly goals? And write this down as well. It's also mentioned in the Google Docs, so write that down. And so if your yearly goal was 250 workouts per year, then that equates to just over 21. So 22 workouts per month. And if you hit 22 workouts per month, I think you should get to like 260 workouts per year or something like that. So you're going to achieve and overpass your goal. And exactly, so that tells you on a shorter time span and something that kind of we can visualize. Okay, so this month, on October, I have to hit 22 workouts, right? So you're breaking down your goals so you can make it more actionable. Because if you just woke up, so for me right now, I need to do 250 workouts. Then it's going to take so much thinking to be like, okay, so do I work out today? Then you can say 250 out of 365. I got like 115 days to sacrifice. So this is my first rest day, right? But if you know that, okay, this month, I have to do 22 workouts. I only have 8 rest days this month. So it's like, okay, you know what, I don't want to use all my rest days right now. So let me work out today. I hope that makes sense. It's better to see them as smaller goals than bigger goals. And we're not done yet. So do this further and do the monthly goals, turn them into weekly goals. And this is all, again, in the worksheet. So since we now have the weekly goals, and since they're input goals, we therefore also have all the tasks we need to do throughout the week, right? And so, example, the 22 workouts a month can be turned into 5 workouts a week. Or those 50 video uploads a year, YouTube videos, they turn to how many? Like 4 to 5 videos a month, and then that turns to 1 video upload a week. And since it's 52 weeks, if you uploaded 1 a week, you would overpass the goal of 50 videos a year. You would go to 52 videos a year, right? And with 5 workouts a week, if you hit that for 52 weeks, then you've gotten 260 workouts in the whole year. I'm not a genius, but I've done this math before, so it's not like I just did 52 times 5 right now. All right. And so now that we have our weekly tasks, because remember, we did our weekly goals, and therefore we have our weekly tasks. Like if you know that every week I have to hit 5 workouts, then you have the task, then you know in 5 days out of the 7 days you need to hit a gym workout. So that already is giving you tasks that you need to put in your weekly schedule. And this is exactly what we're going to do in the next lecture, is we're going to create our schedule. And I'm really excited, and I can't wait, because But I don't know. I just really want you guys to succeed and build your schedule and then actually stay accountable to it. And so a quick summary for this video is we introduced goal setting. We also talked about how to set goals, the right way and the wrong way to set goals. We also created your own goals, your yearly goals, and we turned those goals into systems by breaking them down into months, weeks, and then in the next video, we're going to turn them into a whole weekly schedule where you can see your daily tasks for every day of the week. And so in the upcoming videos, we're just going to create your productivity plan. It's the last video of the first module. Be proud of yourself that you're actually completing the first week of this accelerator program. You should be proud because I'm proud too. And action step for this video, like we've already mentioned before, list your yearly, your monthly, and your weekly goals. All right, boys, welcome to the last video of this module, week 1, foundations. And this is where the exciting stuff starts to happen. And yeah, so today we're going to be creating a productivity plan. We're going to be creating your productivity plan. And let's get into it. Overview for this video is we're going to turn goals into systems. We're going to continue that. We started that last lecture. And then we're going to be creating your weekly schedule. And then we're going to be using daily and weekly review systems to ensure that we tweak your schedule and make it even better week by week. And then we're also going to be building you an accountability system so that you keep on track and stay motivated and stay focused towards your goals. Goals into systems continued. So now that we have our weekly tasks, like we did in the last video, we turned our goals from yearly goals to monthly goals to weekly goals. And weekly goals also mean weekly tasks because we have input-based goals, and that's the magic of input-based goals. Now that we have our weekly goals, we also know exactly what we need to do each week to get to our goals. So for example, the 5 workouts a week, so you know exactly 5 workouts a week, or study for each, or read the textbook chapters, or take notes after every lecture, or after every class, so you exactly know that. You see how many classes you have, and you schedule times to take notes for each of those classes. And for business, like if you're recording a YouTube video, then you dedicate a time to record 1 YouTube video a week, and then you put time to script for the video, and you put time to edit the video, right? So that's the magic of weekly goals and input-based goals as well. So we have our weekly tasks, and we're going to construct that to make your weekly schedule, which is going to automatically give you your daily schedule. So creating a weekly schedule, let's just honestly, enough talking, let's hop on a Google Calendar and create our schedule. And so this is my weekly schedule kind of template. And so what I basically do is I put in the times that I wake up, the times that I sleep, and then like all the classes that I have, because they're not going to change, they're going to stay consistent. So all my lectures, uni lectures, this is also another lecture, and the gym times, because the gym times also, because I go to the gym in uni, so I just kind of structure them while I'm at university as well. So they change every day. But yeah, kind of do something like that. Go on Google Calendar. It's very helpful unless you want to use something else, but Google Calendar usually does the job. And so you click a task by just left clicking here, and then you can add a title. So let's say work, and then so you start it out. Okay, so on Tuesday from 7 to 8 a.m. Or you can change the time here. You can make it an all-day task, but that's like just but just better to do it on a specific time. Give dedicated time to each task so you have urgency to finish the task by the end of that work block that you give it. And you can even repeat it. So that's what I do for all these lectures and the gym sessions, right? Because I know I have this bio lecture, Bio 202, 8 to 10 a.m. every Monday. So I repeat it. You can either repeat it daily. That's what I do for the wake up thing or the sleep thing. You can repeat it weekly on Tuesday, monthly on the 4th Tuesday. So there's a lot of things, but it's usually either going to be a daily thing or a weekly thing or something that does not repeat. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it for how to create a thing. Let's just delete it. Yeah, Discord. Okay, so you set up the when you want to wake up, when you want to sleep, and then add some essentials like the classes you have. Like if you go to school, then just put your whole school schedule. Basically, when are you going to be at school? When are you going to come back? When are you going to go to and the gym? I guess contributes to your goals as well. So then you look at the goals that you made. So let's say one of your goals is 5 times in the gym a week. So then you put out of the 5 days of the week, you can see it goes from Monday to Sunday. Then you can create, you put in the gym times, right? So when do you want to go to the gym? What days and what time? So as you can see, what I made it is, let's go edit it actually. So you can see I put on September 20, 10 to 12. I put the time, and I says it repeats every day, every week on Monday, because you're gonna go every Monday same time, right? And I even added a color for it to separate each separate task. So the gym is red, waking up is orange, sleeping is like yellow or something, and then uni lectures are like blue. But yeah, so you set up that, and then let's say one of my goals is to write notes after every lecture. So then I can say here, so I have the bio 202 and the psych 290, and then I have a gap between 3 to 5. So I can say like here from 3 to 4, I can say bio 202 plus psych 290 notes, right? And then you can say it repeats weekly on Monday. And you can even change the color. Let's say writing notes is going to be like, I don't know why I'm complicating this. It's like, sure, it's a darker blue or something. And then you can even change the reminders. I don't like the reminders because I can just go on the app and see exactly my schedule. I don't like the app reminding me every 30 minutes before that I have this test to do because I already know I'm going to do it. Like I already know what I have to do, right? So then you save it and then you can see. Wait, hold on. Bro, how do I change the weeks? Bro, I want to change the weeks. Either way, it repeats every week. I'm trying to say that. Oh, this is how you do it. Nice. See, it repeats even the Monday the 30th. I don't know why it took so long. Monday the 30th. And like all the goals, see, all of these, because I made them repeat. Like it's the same time. 3 to 4 every Monday. It's going to repeat. But let's go to the today. Okay, and then, so that's one thing you can do. And then let's say, so we did the gym goal. This goal as well. Let's say another goal is to record a YouTube video. So let's say you want to record your videos on Saturday. So, so you record YT video. Okay, let me actually properly write it. Record one YouTube video. And so I'll make the time from like 7 to 8. Let's give you 1 hour to record. Should be enough time. And then repeat it every week because you're trying to record once every week. And yeah, you can even change the color. Let's say you want to record in green, right? And then you can actually edit the video the next day. So for the next day from 7 to 8, you're going to edit one YouTube video. Plus you can make the thumbnail, right? And so that's also going to be green because it's related to that. You can, I just like doing the colors because it separates the tasks, the task types and the categories. And then again, make it repeat weekly on Sunday, and then turn off the reminders as well. Okay, and then but then you need to script for it, right? So let's say you're busy on Friday, you have to do some other things. You can say like Wednesday or Thursday are pretty free. Let's say Wednesday, I want to script the video, and it shouldn't take too long. It should take like only half an hour to be fair. And again, it's all subjective. You can do as many. You can control the times and what days and whatever, right? And then let's say I also want to read, right? So let's say I read from 8 to 9. I read my self-improvement books. My books are on my book list. I read them out every day from 8 to 9, and yeah, that's how you dedicate time each week to actually what you do. And then let's say, and then what you do is you structure the things that are always going to be recurring. So the scripting YouTube videos, you're gonna have to keep doing that. The gyms, the classes. The sleeping, the waking up, that's going to be consistent. And then let's say, and then the rest, you have a lot more gaps, right? So now you're going to be like, okay, so let's think about this. I have a test on Monday the 30th. Like, so just after this day, Sunday, I have a test. So let's structure and give time to study for it. But you're not going to give it every week because like you're not going to have a test every Monday. Right, it's just that Monday you have a test. So let's say I want to start studying from Thursday. So let's say the course is some bio course. So bio study. All right, and then so let's say I'm going to study from 7 a.m. and I'm going to study until 9:30. I'm going to dedicate that time to study for it, and it does not repeat. Right, so you save it, and then you can copy it, and then you say, you know what? I'm also going to study. Can you copy? Yeah, you can duplicate. When you duplicate it, you know what? You don't even need to just do the freaking same thing. So bio study. Let's say I want to study again from 7 to 8:30. And you can even dedicate exactly what you're going to do. So if today I'm going to do practice tests, right? And yesterday I was actually, or that day I was doing notes, read. And then Sunday I have a lot of time, so then I'm going to be dedicating, like, let's say 4 hours. So the 8:30 to, like, I don't know, 12:30, you say bio, study, practice, tests. And so that way you dedicated 2.5 hours, 1.5 hours, it's 4 hours, plus another 4 hours. 8 hours you dedicated, because of all the time you have spare time, into doing the tasks. And so, as you can see, it won't repeat next week. Next week, those bio study tasks are not repeated. And that's exactly how you introduce time blocking and just dedicating time for each task of your whole day. So then, if today's Saturday, I already know that tomorrow this is exactly what I have to do. I have to edit a YouTube video from 7 to 8, and then I have to study for bio from 8:30 to 12:30. And then whatever doing, let's say I'm hanging out with my family, I also write that down. Let's say, even for eating times, honestly, I structure that too. And so let's say on Tuesday, every Tuesday, I'm at uni and I eat usually after this HSC class, HSC 200, and I eat. And let's say I want to eat, I want to make that purple or something, right? And so eat, and then it usually repeats every week, so they just repeat it. And you even structure time out, and you're not going to eat for a whole hour, hopefully, but you're going to structure half an hour to eat every day on Tuesday. And so that way, you literally structure every little thing you're going to do. Even though the meals you're going to eat, you're going to factor that in, so that you fully time block your schedule and introduce crazy productivity. And you want to do that basically until you fill out everything, right? And so let's say you want to work on some extra side hustle. You want to start to learn, like, I don't know, copywriting. And let's say you find a course, and you're gonna watch the videos, right? So then from 6:30 until like 10, just for now. Or you know what? Let's say you want to make it a habit, and you want to work on copywriting every week. So then you say, you know what? Week on Tuesday, I have this gap on Tuesday, so let me just save it, and then it's gonna repeat every Tuesday. So this way you fill out your whole schedule, and you realize how much spare time you actually have, right? Because people say, I don't have time, I never have time to do anything. But then you look at if you actually build the schedule, you're like, hold up, like freaking Wednesday from 6:30 until 5 p.m. What am I actually accomplishing? What am I doing in my life? Like, how does that time just fly away? Or even like from here, even after copywriting, from 10 to 12, you still have 2 hours, and you're like, hold up, where does that go? And you can even introduce like the commute. So let's say I have 20 minutes, I drive 20 minutes to university. So then when I go to the gym here, Tuesday, 12 p.m., I go from 11:40, I can start a task. Actually, does that work? 11:40? Let's say 11:45. Or let's say 11:30, all the way to 12. Let's say give half an hour for commute. And then, again, it repeats. And then you do the same thing after eating here. You do another commute, because you're commuting back or going home. So basically, every little thing you're going to do throughout the day, you plan it. And if there's any specific task that's unique and that does not repeat, the night before you go on your schedule and you just add it. And then you can download the mobile app, so that when you go throughout your day, you literally see, okay, I have to do this at this time, this at 3, this at 4, this at 7 p.m., right? So that, bro, and then if you just keep accomplishing the goals, and it's going to feel so nice, and you're going to feel so much more productive. And so that's pretty much it for actually building your weekly schedule. I hope you're actually doing this as well right now and building your own schedule. So pause if you need to, but build your own schedule too. And so, yeah, we built our schedule, and now we're going to use our review systems. At first, we're going to use the daily review system. And so we can actually couple this with daily journaling to get both benefits, the benefits of journaling and the benefits of having a review system. And so after each day, what I want you to do is write a quick review of your day and encapsulate how your day actually went and what you were thinking about your whole day. So let's say you had a test and it went great. So then you're proud of yourself that, I think I did good in the test, and you just do normal journaling. But then you also can mention the things that went right and wrong in relation to your schedule, your weekly schedule and your daily schedule, and the tasks in each time block you specified. So you say, okay, so today I did all my tasks, but this is one task that took too long because I was procrastinating, I was being lazy, and I wasn't being productive. But apart from that, today was pretty good. So then you just talk about how like you're proud of what you did and the work you've done, and yeah. And then what I want you to do is then post it on the school community because it's gonna be even more motivation. And so you go here and you say, let's say today is September 28th. Review. And then you give it like a title or something, right? So September 28th review, and let's say test went well today, I believe. And say proud of myself for being productive, but slacked on this one task today. And then you write that every night. So then every night you kind of journal, but then also post the journal in the community. Obviously, if you don't write something that's really sensitive, don't mention it, right? But that way you're journaling, getting the benefits of that and like getting your feelings out, and also at the same time building accountability so that you're staying on track towards your goals and getting some progress towards your goals. And yeah, and then after that, we also couple that with weekly review systems. So you do this again at the end of the week. So at the end of a Sunday or the end of a Saturday, whenever you guys start your week. Like I start my week on a Monday, so the night of the Sunday, and then I'll do my weekly review. So you write how the week was and how you felt your performance was throughout the week, relates to productivity and other aspects of your life. How close were you to achieving your weekly goals that we set out, and what are you proud of? What could be improved? All these questions ensure that you can improve every single week. So you can change, maybe even tweak some of the tasks you put every week. It's like if you dedicated too much time for this one task, like you gave yourself 4 hours for this, but it only took you 2 hours, then you can kind of decrease that time, and so then you can put more time to other tasks. And let's say you just keep not finishing this one task on time, you always take an extra hour, then maybe add an extra hour to it, right? So tweak your system, and maybe then we're going to talk about in the next weeks on eliminating tasks that you don't need to do, and then adding tasks that you need to do, right? So building good habits and breaking bad habits, stuff like that. So we're going to keep tweaking the schedule until the end of the 5 weeks. So this is just a start, but it's a very good template, and it's definitely going to keep or increase your productivity from when you started this program. So you do the same thing with the weekly schedule. It's like, let's say today you're doing your weekly schedule today, right? Or let's say, September 28th, weekly review. Or let's say, when did the week start? So Saturday, so 7 days ago. So September 21. Yeah, September 21, 2028, weekly review. And then you write, I don't know, like 9 out of 10 or something, all right? Was very productive or something, or let's say, achieved all my goals, right? And then you talk about exactly what all the questions we're talking about. And so I'm actually going to be doing this with you guys, like especially the weekly reviews, and even for some of the days I'll do it with you, because we're all in this together, and we're going to keep each other accountable to all the goals that we have. And so yeah, this is really going to help you, and also help others in the community to stay accountable and also post, because they're going to say, okay, everyone's posting, why the hell am I not posting? They're not like, I'm also just as good at them, I need to post as well. It's going to be like a friendly competition, right? So yeah, like I said, post the daily and the weekly reviews into the community. Also, to build an accountability system, use a habit tracker. Now that we've actually built the schedule right here, and we're going to fill out everything, we're going to have like similar tasks that happen every day or happen every week, right? Like we said, going to the gym, we're going to 5 days a week. So build a habit tracker, and some people like to do the physical one and just paste it on their wall, right? You just get a paper and or even get those boards. You can get those whiteboards that you can hang on the wall, and you can write your habit tracker there. Be like, for Monday I want to do this, Tuesday this, and then you tick them off. Or you can use digital ones. Like I use an app called Habit Tracker. I think it's just called literally Habit Tracker on iOS at least. I don't know if it's on Android, but it's really good. And you can even add it as a widget on your home screen, so that You can see it, and you can see how well you're doing in the week. Like all you can see all the tasks you filled out and the tasks you didn't fill out throughout the week. So you can see, okay, this week is going great, or this week is could be better, right? So whatever task you're doing, you also add that in the habit tracker. And so a quick summary for this video is we built out your weekly schedule. We completely set your goals into systems. We also implemented review systems and instilled accountability in with your daily and your weekly reviews and your goals, right? And so an action step for this video is building your weekly schedule and then doing your daily and weekly reviews and then using a digital or physical habit tracker. Congratulations on completing week 1. I'm so excited and happy that you actually took action and dedicated your time and focus and attention into week 1 and module 1 of the Productivity Accelerator Program Foundations. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'll see you in week 2. Make sure to follow my YouTube and Instagram for more content outside of this community. And keep taking action. You've been taking action. Just keep taking action. And I'll catch you later, boys. Peace.